Martian ManHunter is one of my favorite DC superheroes.
Okay, the problem with Martian ManHunter.
Martian ManHunter is one of my favorite DC superheroes, probably second to the Flash. He's a very unique character in the DC universe and is on par with Superman in terms of his power. I'd even argue he's more powerful and just blatantly cooler than Superman. But despite his power, he's still somehow one of the most overlooked and disrespected Justice League members. To get an idea of how powerful he really is, let me quickly go over his powers. Super strength. His strength is on par to that of Superman's. Near invulnerability. He's insanely durable and can take juicers from even...
Alright, so you're back. Alright. The problem with Martian ManHunter.
Martian ManHunter is one of my favorite DC superheroes, probably second to the Flash. He's a very unique character in the DC universe and is on par with Superman in terms of his power. I'd even argue he's more powerful and just blatantly cooler than Superman. But despite his power, he's still somehow one of the most overlooked and disrespected Justice League members. To get an idea of how powerful he really is, let me quickly go over his powers. Super strength. His strength is on par to that of Superman's. Near invulnerability. He's insanely durable and can take juicers from even the strongest characters. Shapeshifting. He can alter his size, shape, and appearance whenever he wants. This also allows him to heal from injuries by reforming his body. He can fly and has a form of super speed, because usually any character that has the ability to fly has a form of super speed. He's not flash fast, but he can move pretty quickly. Telepathy. This is what I think sets him apart from everyone else. Telepathy is overpowered. He can read and project thoughts, create psychic links with large groups, manipulate memories, and just control people's minds. Intangibility, he can alter his molecular structure and phase through solid objects. This is also OP because this makes him pretty much untouchable. Invisibility, he can bend light across his body, making him appear invisible. Enhanced senses, like the same thing Superman has. Heat vision, also similar to Superman. Enhanced intelligence, slowed aging, he ages much slower than normal humans do. Enhanced endurance, he doesn't need to eat, sleep, or drink. Telekinesis, he can move objects with his mind. I don't know the extent of this, but I do know that in the Batman animated movie, he said he could move Batman and one other person. I don't know if that's like the max he can do, but that's what I know. This isn't really a superpower, but his detective skills are on par with Batman as well. Pretty much any power you can think of, Martian ManHunter probably has it. With all of this, it's clear he's an absolute overpowered monster of a character. But of course, when you have a character this strong, you have to write them a weakness. Which brings me to my next point. His weakness is fire. He has a physical weakness as well as a mental weakness to it depending on who's writing the story. Sometimes he even shuts down when in close contact to it because of the trauma he has from watching his people being burned on Mars. This is of course the first problem I have with Martian ManHunter's character. Superman's weakness is a rare stone. It's supposed to be rare, but somehow everyone gets their paws on it. That's Superman's only weakness though. Manhunter on the other hand, who I think is vastly more powerful than Superman, is given a simple weakness: fire. Fire is everywhere. Anyone with a lighter now has a chance against one of the most powerful DC characters. Fire is often used as an easy excuse to remove Manhunter from the fights. This is done because he's just too powerful. Any situation could probably be resolved relatively quickly considering his powers, but that's not the only problem with his weakness to fire. The fire weakness itself is inconsistent. Sometimes it's shown that his weakness to fire is both mental and physical, other times he only has a physical weakness or only a psychological weakness to it. In some depictions, he can overcome his fear of fire from just his willpower. I don't know in depth how telepathy powers work, but
I remember in a Young Justice TV show, like, they were just in a volcano, in a fiery pit. They're just like, thank you for y'all being there. It's like, oh, we can do it. I was like, what? Isn't y'all top up and y'all just here chilling? Just for some stone?
I would think he could just get rid of his fear by using telepathy on himself, and then boom, he'd be good to go. But from what I've watched, he usually has a physical weakness to it rather than the psychological one, so the telepathy trick wouldn't work anyways. The second thing I'd like to cover is how he's just insanely underutilized. I went over his powers, so as you can tell, he's an extremely overpowered character. And yet, he's never used to his fullest. He'd
just be chilling, bro. This movie, he was like, alright.
In the Snyderverse, he's revealed to have been disguised as the General the entire time.
He's just chilling, bro. Look how he looks.
Fullest. He's actually in the Snyderverse. He's revealed to have been disguised as the General the entire time. So he's been around this whole time just watching the world go to shit and decides he's gonna come and help out after everything is over and the dust is settled. settled. Why did they decide to do this? I don't know. Probably because he's just too powerful. The Justice League was pretty much getting stomped out until Superman jumped up out the grave and came to bail them out. So they really wouldn't have needed.
Have you ever seen Superman kick till then? No.
Superman if John was helping out, but he wasn't. He's supposed to be a main member of the Justice League, yet Snyder left him out throughout all the...
This is perfect, bro. This is the squad right here. Post me up. How that showing up, bro? A delay?
Movies. He decided to make him more of a mysterious side character rather than a main part of the out throughout all the movies. He decided to make him more of a mysterious side character rather than a main part of the plot. Listen, I like Cyborg, but it surprises me that Cyborg has a bigger role and more character development than the Martian. I think they were even thinking about making a Cyborg solo film. Where's this love for Martian Manhunter? I think he's a more popular character. He's also in CW's Supergirl, but the show is obviously about Supergirl, so Manhunt popular character. He's also in CW.
What scene was this? So this is a crossover?
Supergirl, but the show is obviously...
I don't remember to see it all. Was it a crossover because he has Dax?
Obviously about Supergirl, so Manhunter kind of gets overshadowed and thrown in the backseat as a side character yet again. I haven't watched that show in a long time, but I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of scenarios where John could have came and helped out.
I believe that, bro.
But instead they made Supergirl have to overcome something and come out on top. It didn't help that they had a low budget, so Manhunter couldn't use his powers too much. They hardly ever had him in his true green Martian form. They had him mainly as a human. And if I remember correctly, they gave John him in his true green Martian form. They had him mainly as a human. And if I remember correctly, they gave John more of a mentor role, which is crazy considering how powerful he is. I might do a separate video going over scenes where role, which is crazy considering how powerful he is. I might do a separate video going over scenes where Manhunter could have come in and saved the day, but he's left out because, well, I don't know why. In the animated series, Manhunter is a much more prominent character, but still gets overshadowed by other characters like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. He does have his moments in these shows where they show him being a strong, OP character like he should be, but most of the time he's kind of riding the bench, not even in the starting lineup. He's usually taken out of the action and given a more kind of backseat role. He's shown as this calm and kind mentor, which is fine. The MCU did a similar thing to Vision, which I made a video on. He's a super powerful character, so they gave him the babysitter gig. I just wish Martian Manhunter was given more of the spotlight, shown as a main superhero, and we could take a deeper look into his character, but I doubt that ever happens because Batman and Superman are the cash cows for DC. They can't even make a good Flash movie, so it happens because Batman and Superman are the cash cows for DC. They can't even make a good Flash movie, so I highly doubt Manhunter ever gets the love he deserves. But that's live action. They do actually have some banging animated movies, so there's always that. If you guys enjoyed this video, then
hit the subscribe, like, and share button.
Let me know your thoughts on this. Is Martian Manhunter a disrespected character? Let me know in the comments.
Not gonna lie,
let me know what videos or characters I should do next.
You swayed me. You agreed to my point.
Follow me on Instagram. Links in the description. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. So I'll see you in the next one.
Dang. I get it. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, he is definitely. That was a great video of Martian Manhunter. Yeah, I guess he is disrespected a little bit. So that's tough.